Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is Benjamin, and welcome to a Game Maker Let's Pixel tutorial. So, I had a request for this tutorial, and it was by... Oh, really quick, I'm going to pitch an idea to you guys. So I was thinking about doing a Reddit page that was just for my channel. And on the Reddit page, you guys could request Let's Pixel videos or Game Maker tutorials. And then you guys could either vote ones up that you want to see or vote them down, and it would give me a better idea of what you guys want to see. So I was just thinking about maybe doing that. Tell me in the comments if you think that might be a good idea, if that's something you guys would use. I feel like we'd be able to interact a little bit better, and I could see what the general group of my subscribers really wants to see. Because, yeah, I think that would be a good idea. So you guys can tell me what you think. But this tutorial request for pixel art was done by Nicholas Madrid, and he asked, Ben, please make some tutorials about creating top-down sprites, trees, characters, and buildings. So I don't have time to do all three of those, but I will do characters and maybe possibly trees in this video, because I think those are kind of, especially characters, people really struggle with characters. So I've got Game Maker Studio opened up here. If you don't know what software I'm using, I like to use Game Maker Studio and its built-in sprite editor. Now we're going to create a new sprite, and we're going to make this new sprite 64 by 64 pixels. Okay. Now we're going to zoom in, and really quickly I'm going to show you guys what not to do when you're creating a top-down shooter game. So let's say you grab a blue color and you're like, okay, this is going to be my shirt color right here. And you come in here and you grab this box thing and you come down like this, and you're like, okay, boom, there's my character's shoulders, you know? And then you grab, oh, this is going to be my character's hair color is whatever brown, you know? And it's going to be maybe a little lighter than that, I don't know, whatever brown like this, and you grab a circle and then you go like this, you know, and you draw this big circle, and you're like, boom, there's my character. Now here's the problem with this doing a top-down character. Maybe even add a gun, you know, and you're like, oh look, this is their gun like this, and make it look a little bit more like a gun, maybe, I don't know, and there's your top-down character. Well, the problem with this is the proportions are horrible. Look how huge this head is compared to the rest of the body. It just doesn't look right, and I got a new Twitch follower. It just doesn't look right. So it's not a good way to do top-down sprites, and you'll notice when we zoom out, it's just I don't know. It makes me cringe personally, because I've done sprites like that before and it just doesn't look good. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a gray color, and I'm going to show you guys how you can do a character with top-down sprites. So first I'm going to draw, let me set my opacity all the way up. First I'm going to draw a head like this and fill it in. And that looks pretty good. You don't want it to be too big. Then I'm going to take that same gray color and I'm going to lighten it just a little. And we're going to draw the lighting for this head. So let's draw some of where the light's going to hit the head probably. You know, like that, whatever. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab a darker color. So grab this, go darker. And actually I'm going to use image... which one is intensity? I'm going to use that to lighten this up just a little bit because it's already so dark. Okay. Select a slightly darker color. Okay. Now we're going to do the shoulders. So let's say our character's like this, and I'm going to do it like he's got a gun. It's like a top-down shooter. And let's see, draw. He's going to have his head kind of leaning forward. So you're going to be able to see some of his back. Oops, I don't want it that thick. So you're going to be able to see some of his back. So his back's going to come behind his head like this. And then his shoulders are going to come, and they're going to be like this. He's going to be, the head is going to be forward on the shoulders like this, because he's leaning forward. Okay? And this doesn't have to be exact and pixel perfect. So now, what we're going to do is, we're going to add some lighting to the shoulders. Well, we need to make them a little darker, actually, so the head stands out. We might end up swapping these. Let's swap them. So get the dark color and put it there. Go even a little darker and go there. And then we're going to get a light color and go there. And also, heads aren't perfectly round, so you might actually want to flatten the front just a little, the edges, and make it not quite perfectly round. Because a perfectly round head, it doesn't really exist. People don't have round heads. So, okay, we've got kind of like a not perfectly round head. You can see the back coming off of the shoulders. Now we're going to actually get a lighter color here, and we're going to do the highlights for the shoulders. Now, these highlights are probably going to come like this, and they're going to kind of cut off where the neck goes. And they're not going to go down the back. We're going to leave the back dark. Okay, so you can see these shoulders kind of coming off, and you can already get a slight sense of depth, a feeling of depth here. Now I'm gonna go dark again, and we're gonna draw the character's legs. Now, people will they'll like draw feet, you know, like this or whatever, and then they'll like alternate them to like animate them. And this does not look good. It doesn't look like feet, and it doesn't look realistic. So what we're going to draw is we're going to draw the character's torso. So because he's leaning forward, we're actually going to see some of his torso down here. And we might have that come down a little bit like that. Maybe not, actually. Maybe just a little. And we're going to have the feet kind of come out like this. Just kind of see the back parts of these legs as they come out. Like that. So, you don't really see very much for the legs either. And I actually want that to be even darker, so it's not the same color as the head. Okay. Now let's keep this dark color, and we're gonna do the arms. And I'm gonna have, so let's say our arms come forward like this from the shoulders, and this is kind of like the bicep of our character right here. Okay. And then from this bicep, we're going to have the forearms coming from there. So bring those forward kind of like this. And I'm bringing them together because he's going to have a firearm in front here. And that doesn't look very good. Let's bring it. More like this. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to make the forearms this dark color like this. So the forearms are going to be the same color as the head. So here we've got the biceps will leave the dark color of the pants for now. I'm just trying to distinguish between the shapes. You'll probably end up changing all these colors later. Biceps need to be quite a bit bigger than they are. Let's give him some guns, right? Okay, so we've got the forearms coming forward, and the biceps. I'm going to add a little bit of this lighter color to the forearms. And for the gun, let's grab this color right here. And we'll come forward like this. And I'm just gonna create something. Okay, let's go darker here, darker here. Maybe across here. I don't know, something like that for this gun. I'm not gonna, probably it'd be good to make it quite a bit brighter so we get like a shine on the gun. I don't know. I'm not a gun expert when it comes to drawing guns. Looks not too bad though. It just needs to stand out more from the character. So this arm looks a little funny. I want to work on this one a little bit. Probably we'll want to use maybe the forearm color as a highlight on the biceps. Pull the biceps forward more. It's looking pretty good. Okay, so you can see this is already starting to look way better than what we had before, what people normally do. You've really got to think through not doing the whole circle for the head, bring the shoulders out. You want to add a little bit more depth to it. You know, depth's not the right word, perspective. So it's not, you know, you've got a little bit of perspective in this case like this. So this character's already looking pretty good. I'd probably, there's still some things you'd want to touch up here. That bicep, that arm looked a little funny coming out the way it did. But you get the main idea. Once you get your character like this, you can animate him, and you'll just want to, I can show you a quick, yeah, we won't be able to talk about animating today because I want to go into the trees. Maybe I can just show you real quick. So this is one of my reference images, and I've already done a very cheap animation on this one. So where is my preview window? I don't remember, is it in view? Oh yeah, preview, right here. So let's make this 800% and make it slower. And this is not a very great animation. You'd want some in-between frames. You can see that this would look quite a bit better to do it like this, and then have some nice in-between frames so it doesn't look quite this jumpy. Sweet. Now what we're gonna do is, now that we have our top-down character, we're gonna do a tree. Oops. Sprite top down tree. Just because I've already got so many other sprites in Grainware. And let's make this one. Trees are fun. Let's make this one. Trying to think how big we want to make this. We'll probably want to make it bigger. We'll want to make it bigger than the character, but not like ridiculously big. Let's do 104 by 104. No, that's not big enough. 128 by 128. That's probably big enough. Okay. So trees, top-down trees. A lot of people hate doing top-down trees. And the reason they hate doing top-down trees is because they can be kind of tricky. In fact, most top-down sprites feel a little bit tricky. So one of the things we're going to want to do is with our character, we got most of the light was coming from the top of the character, but it was actually kind of coming from the front a little bit. So with our tree, we are going to add a little bit of a shadow on the one side because the tree is going to be significantly taller. So grab a green color, and I'm going to go down on this end of things. And I'm going to grab this slightly larger brush size, and I'm literally going to scribble. You guys are probably like, oh my gosh, scribbling. Let me tell you though, scribbling actually kind of works, especially when you're doing trees. So now I'm going to start doing the edges jagged like this. Okay, so we've got to start. The one thing you do not want to do is make it a circle. Let me tell you that very rarely are trees a perfect circle. That's probably just pretty good advice for a top-down game, is do not make it a circle, right? Whenever you're doing top-down art, don't let it be a circle, because circles are not good in top-down art. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our brush again, and I'm going to grab a way darker color, and we're going to add our lighting. So let's make sure this is smaller. Let's pretend that the lighting's coming kind of from the right hand side. So we're going to get our shadow on this side of the tree. It's going to come up to the center like this, kind of wrap around a little bit like this. It should probably come up more like that and wrap probably a little bit more around this direction. So let's say that's our shadow right there for the tree. Actually, yeah. And let's make sure this comes a little bit more this direction. Now what we're going to want to do is grab a darker color even than this. And we're going to add, I'm going to grab the slightly larger one again. We're going to add some darker shading, kind of like this. I don't know how to explain what I'm doing here. Mostly it's creating like a We're going to want to put some of this on this side too, especially where you'd imagine there would be some more shading. That color. Pull some of the dark in. You want to mix these together a little bit so that it's not such a perfect, not such a perfect line between them like it was before. Okay. So that's already starting to look better. Let's grab a bright color, and this is going to be our top, like the top of our tree. Might come down a little bit on this tree, but for the most part, it's going to stay right up here on top. We need a middle tone here though. Is that a good middle tone? Let's bring some of this more into here a little bit. Trees are one of the trickiest things to draw. So if yours doesn't look good, don't feel bad, because mine doesn't really look that great either yet. Bring some of that darker color in. I might just make this whole top piece nice and bright like this. Well, that's starting to look pretty good. So let's actually build, let's center that. It's not looking too bad. And let's build a quick room that we can showcase these sprites in. I'm just going to make the ground, you want it to be a different shade of green than your trees. So I'm going to make mine quite a bit. I don't know, we'll see what that looks like. Then I'm going to create two objects. One for the tree, one for the player. You can kind of see how these look. It's really important to look at how your sprites look together in a game. It's one of the things I haven't really gone over. We've got our trees, right? And it'd be good to... I don't remember how you rotate stuff. I know you can. So there we got some nice rotated trees. And let's see what our player looks like in with these trees. So not too shabby. The contrast would need some work, because the trees are kind of a lower contrast. The grass obviously needs to be actual grass. But yeah, this is what you're gonna have. You'll have a character that is not just a circle with a box underneath it. Underneath it, you'll want to add a little bit more depth to it, kind of the way that I did that we talked about. And then you'll have the trees that will have kind of one side of them more shaded. That's just how they generally are, is one is more shaded. It'll be brighter on the top still, and then it'll be brighter on this side, but it won't be as bright as the top, because that adds kind of the top of the tree kind of feel to it. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this video helped you. If it did and you want to see more of my videos, be sure and subscribe. Like this video and favorite it and share it on Twitter. That always helps me when you share it on, when you guys share my videos on Twitter. It's always exciting for me to see that. So I really appreciate it. If you have other ideas for Let's Pixel videos, be sure and comment on this video with those ideas. But tell me what you think about that Reddit idea. Because if you guys like that, you want me to do it, I see enough of you are interested in it, then I'll make that Reddit place where you guys can go tell me what you want to see in tutorial videos. So thank you guys for watching again, and I will talk to you guys later.